History is usually handed to us like a perfectly straight line, just a slow, steady, almost predictable march from primitive darkness right into the brilliant light of modern science. But what happens when we unearth something that just absolutely refuses to fit that timeline? Today, in this explainer, we are diving deep into archaeological mysteries that completely shatter our conventional understanding of human progress. We're looking at ancient secrets, highly advanced engineering, and frankly, bizarre artifacts that modern science is literally still struggling to understand.
Just think about that for a second. What if ancient civilizations possessed technology we still cannot fully explain? I really want you to let that mystery sink in. We pride ourselves so much on our modern computing, our nanotechnology, our towering glass skyscrapers, but scattered across the globe are physical artifacts that are whispering a very, very different story about our past.
Let's dive into Part 1, Echoes of Lost Knowledge.
To truly grasp the magnitude of what humanity has lost, we have to talk about the Antikythera Mechanism. Built over 2,000 years ago, this ancient Greek device is often referred to by experts as the world's very first analog computer. It features a staggeringly complex system of bronze gears that calculated the exact movements of the planets and the phases of the moon. It proves without a shadow of a doubt that our ancestors were centuries ahead of the timeline we normally assign to them. They possessed an intricate, almost clockwork understanding of celestial mechanics that we're really only just now beginning to fully appreciate.
600 BCE. It might seem like just a stark, simple number, but it actually marks an era of seemingly impossible engineering.
Right around this time, the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon were constructed. And honestly, the sheer environmental defiance of this project is staggering. The Babylonians essentially created a massive, highly complex irrigation system in an incredibly unforgiving desert environment. They built these multi-tiered, lush terraces that rose up like a living wall, creating the absolute illusion of paradise on Earth. And yet, the exact engineering method, specifically how they managed to continuously pump massive volumes of water to such staggering heights, remains a total mystery today. It was a masterpiece of hydraulic engineering, and we have absolutely no blueprints for it.
Which brings us to Part 2, the Stone Age astronomers.
12,000. That's how many years ago this next site was active. Just let the sheer weight of that number hit you for a moment. 12,000 years ago, in modern-day Turkey, humanity built something that should have been impossible.
The breathtaking evidence we're talking about here is Göbekli Tepe. We are talking about massive, 5-meter-tall T-shaped limestone pillars weighing several tons each, quarried and moved by people we categorize as simple hunter-gatherers. These pillars are completely covered in intricate animal reliefs and abstract pictograms. But here is the most chilling detail. Recent scholarly analysis suggests these markings actually represent the world's oldest luna-solar calendar. It systematically tracked the sun, the moon, and the stars. Some researchers even posit that it vividly records the exact date a catastrophic comet struck the Earth around 10,850 BC.
So, here's the massive contradiction we have to face. How on earth did a civilization without agriculture, without wheels, and without metal tools master such advanced astronomical tracking? It completely forces us to reconsider the linear narrative of human progress. They were astute observers of the cosmos, applying highly sophisticated knowledge to their environment millennia before the rise of Mesopotamia or Egypt.
Moving on to Part 3, Masters of Urban Planning. Let's fast forward a bit to 3300 BCE, where the Indus Valley Civilization reveals just overwhelming engineering prowess. We're talking strict grid-based city planning. They had advanced covered drainage networks connected directly to individual houses. They used standardized baked bricks across vastly separated settlements, which points to incredible, centralized quality control. They built elaborate wells, massive reservoirs, and public baths. This level of meticulous urban organization was entirely unseen in contemporary civilizations. It was a highly sanitized, brilliantly planned society.
And crazy enough, we are literally still playing catch-up. When we contrast the ancient Indus Valley's heavy emphasis on sanitation and water conservation with modern Indian urbanization initiatives like the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan for sanitation or the Jal Shakti Abhiyan for water conservation, we see this absolutely fascinating parallel. Today, our modern cities constantly grapple with unplanned organic growth, severe congestion, and inadequate drainage. Yet, thousands of years ago, the Indus Valley had already mastered the blueprint for sustainable urban living.
Part 4, Ancient Roman Nanotechnology.
Take the Lycurgus Cup, for example, currently housed in the British Museum. It's a 4th century Roman cage cup depicting the mythological triumph of Dionysus over King Lycurgus. But notice the optics here. In direct light, the solid glass appears as a thick, opaque jade green. But the second light shines through it from behind, it instantly turns into a translucent, glowing ruby red. This dichroic optical illusion completely baffled scientists for decades. I mean, how could solid glass change color so dramatically?
Well, in the late 1980s, transmission electron microscopy finally gave us an answer. And honestly, the scientific truth is shocking. This isn't just regular glass. Hidden inside the matrix are tiny, hyper-precise metallic nanoparticles. We're talking about particles measuring just 50 to 100 nanometers across. For some context, a single nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter. The Romans were literally manipulating matter at a molecular level, centuries before modern microscopes were even theorized.
The chemistry happening here is impossibly complex. To make this work, they had to dissolve trace amounts of gold and silver into the glass. Then they added antimony to act as a highly specific reducing agent. During an incredibly precise heat treatment process, sodium chloride exhaled from the glass, and silver-gold alloy nanoparticles precipitated out at an exact 7:3 ratio. This process is so difficult, so delicate, that the technology practically vanished after the 4th century. In fact, we couldn't reliably reproduce this kind of gold ruby glass until the 17th century in Europe.
Part 5. Myths, Magic, or Science.
You see, when ancient artifacts start manipulating matter at the nanoscale, the line between hard science and ancient mysticism really begins to blur. Take, for instance, the enigmatic artifacts from Central America, the crystal skulls. Carved from pure, incredibly hard quartz, they possess a level of precision that deeply baffles modern experts to this day. Some claim they emit unique energies or possess highly specific acoustic properties. But whether you view them as ritual objects or masterclasses in ancient lapidary technology, they stand as undeniable physical proof that our ancestors interacted with materials in ways we haven't fully documented or decoded yet.
It brings to mind a great perspective. Perhaps part of the magic of ancient civilizations is still whispering to us through time, waiting for those who are ready to listen. Because these aren't just dead objects sitting in a museum, they're a bridge proving the world is far more complex than it appears on the surface, urging us to look past our modern arrogance.
Which leads to our final section, Part 6, Human Intelligence versus AI.
This whole journey brings us to a profound philosophical crossroad. Lost technologies make us reflect on the limits of human potential and on how little we know about the power of innovation in the past. True intellect isn't just about the microchips we can print today. It's about the raw, innate human capability to observe, to manipulate the natural world, and to engineer absolute masterpieces using only the mind and the hands.
So it leaves us with this massive philosophical dilemma. As we build AI to think for us, to calculate for us, and to design our cities for us, are we disconnecting from the ancient ingenuity that actually built our world? Think about it. The Romans didn't have AI to calculate the exact reduction potential of silver and gold ions in glass. The builders of Göbekli Tepe didn't have software to track a comet strike. They had an acute, deeply connected, hands-on human intelligence.
We've forgotten how Babylon built its gardens. We lost the code to the Antikythera Mechanism. We lost the recipe for Roman nanotechnology for over 1,000 years. As we continue to outsource our thinking to machines, we are left with one final, lingering question. What profound knowledge will humanity lose next?